she said. If you don't buy me a house by Christmas, we're done. Buy me a house by Christmas, or we're done. That was the sentence Emily dropped at her parents' dinner table, with the confidence of someone announcing a weather update instead of detonating our relationship. I remember holding my fork halfway to my mouth, staring at her like she just suggested I sell a kidney for concert tickets. Her family froze. Even the pot roast seemed offended. And in that moment, while her mother waited with hopeful eyes and her sister smirked like she'd been rooting for this ultimatum all year, something inside me shut off, not in anger, but in clarity. My name is Ethan Brooks, 32, software developer from Denver, and up until that moment, I believed my relationship with Emily Reynolds had a future. I was wrong. The funny thing is, I wasn't anti-commitment. I'd even spent the last few months quietly browsing homes, imagining a slow, steady path towards something real. I wanted a partnership, not a performance. But Emily never wanted us. She wanted a house, specifically one I paid for, decorated to her Pinterest boards, and presented like a trophy. Her marketing salary barely covered her rent and skincare subscription boxes, yet she talked about real estate like she owned the entire Denver metro area. And when her mom asked us when things were getting serious, Emily saw her moment. She tossed her hair, glanced at me, and said loudly, I already told him. If he doesn't buy us a house by Christmas, I'm done waiting. The room tightened instantly. Her dad looked like he wanted to sink into his mashed potatoes. Her sister chimed in, bragging how her own boyfriend bought her a condo after a year and a half, as if men were supposed to hand out mortgages like holiday coupons. I looked straight at Emily, expecting maybe embarrassment or a nervous laugh, but she rolled her eyes dramatically and said, Ethan, don't act surprised. I dropped hints. The Zillow links. The open houses. The Pinterest boards. I made it obvious. Obvious? There's a difference between sharing dreams and issuing demands without ever contributing a dollar or an idea beyond. I want it. Everyone stared at me, waiting for my humiliation. Instead, I calmly set down my fork and said, Okay. Challenge accepted. She squealed, hugged me, kissed my cheek, already celebrating like she'd won a prize. But I wasn't celebrating. I was making a decision. What she didn't know was that I had been saving and planning for my future, not one built on ultimatums. The next morning I called my realtor, Susan, and asked about a small 3-bedroom ranch we'd toured earlier. It wasn't glamorous, but it was solid, quiet, mine. Or more accurately, it was about to be my mother's. When I told Mom everything, she didn't hesitate. She wants you to buy her a house, she said flatly. Not a house with her, for her. Absolutely not. We'll do this properly. So we structured the deal so that the home was legally owned by Mom, mortgage in her name, down payment gifted from me, full documentation, while I became her tenant for one symbolic $1 a month. It was clean, protected, and exactly what Emily never saw coming. While I packed and moved discreetly, Emily continued sending me houses she liked, always in the $450,000 to $600,000 range, without once asking what we could afford together or offering any contribution. She didn't save. She didn't budget. She didn't plan. She just demanded. 3 days before Christmas she finally texted. When are we seeing houses? Christmas is literally in 2 days. I answered simply. I bought a house. Already moved in. You should come see it. She exploded with excitement instantly. OMG, are you serious? Send address now. I sent it. Told her to come at 2. She arrived at 1:30. In a full-size U-Haul truck. Packed to the roof. Boxes labeled. Kitchen, fragile, master closet, Emily's stuff. She hopped out of the truck like a contestant on a game show about to claim her grand prize. My stomach dropped, not in fear, but in anticipation of the explosion about to happen. And that's where everything truly began. When Emily jumped out of that U-Haul, the look on her face told me she wasn't visiting, she was moving in. She didn't ask, didn't check, didn't wonder, she just assumed. Assumed ownership. Assumed entitlement. Assumed I had bought her fantasy home and wrapped it in a bow. She marched up my driveway carrying a box labeled Kitchen Fragile, pushing right past me like I was the moving crew she'd accidentally underpaid. Oh my God, Ethan, this place is adorable. Are those original hardwood floors? Where's our bedroom? She didn't say your bedroom. Not the bedroom. She said our. As if the deed had her initials engraved in gold. I stepped in her way, keeping my voice level. You're not moving in. She laughed, actually laughed, like I'd cracked a dad joke. Stop acting mad. You'll get over it. Now seriously, where's the bedroom? Mine's upstairs, I said. Yours is, wherever you currently live. The smile slid off her face slowly, like a mask melting. What? She whispered, stunned. This is my house, I said calmly. Well, technically it's my mom's. Right on cue, my mom's silver Camry rolled up the driveway. She stepped out holding a folder, wearing her reading glasses, channeling pure landlord energy. Emily turned toward her, confused. Wait, what is this? Mom walked up, extended a hand politely. Hi, you must be Emily. I'm the homeowner. Emily blinked rapidly, trying to process. Homeowner? No, Ethan bought this house. For us. He's renting from me. Mom corrected cheerfully. If you're looking to apply as a tenant, I'd need a credit check, references, proof of income, first month, last month, and security deposit. The way Emily's face twisted, confusion, disbelief, rage, was something I will never forget. Are you psycho? She snapped. I'm not paying rent to live with my boyfriend. Then you're not living here, I replied simply. She screamed. You bought a house and didn't put me on it after 2 years. You didn't offer to pay a single dollar, I said. Not toward the down payment, not the inspection, not anything. You gave me an ultimatum. I met it. That's what men do, she yelled. They provide. Mom actually burst out laughing. Sweetheart, that's what suckers do. My son's not one. Emily's eyes filled with tears, weaponized tears, the kind she used when she wanted sympathy, when she wanted to twist the situation back to her narrative. You made me look stupid, she cried. Everyone thinks we're moving in together. Tell them the truth, I said. That you issued a demand I never agreed to. She stormed back into the U-Haul, slammed the door, nearly hit my mailbox as she reversed, and sped down the street like a feral raccoon behind the wheel. Mom nudged me gently. She'll be back. I know. Want me to be your official landlady? She asked, grinning wickedly. Absolutely, I said. Mom moved her mailing address, changed her ID, and made everything official. And just like that, my new life began. For 2 hours. Then my phone exploded. 23 texts. 7 missed calls. And then came the long, angry voicemail from her mother. 8 minutes of pure rage. Apparently I had ruined her daughter's future, violated her trust, and abused her financially. The best part? She's so upset she threw up. Charming. Her sister posted cryptic, dramatic nonsense on social media. Her friends wrote, Men ain't shit. Essays. People I barely knew from Emily's job DM'd me paragraphs about female security and emotional labor. I said nothing. I just posted screenshots of the ultimatum, the Zillow links of houses she couldn't afford, the Pinterest boards full of $600,000 homes, and captioned them. When someone demands you buy them a house by Christmas but never offers to contribute a single dollar. The internet flipped instantly. Suddenly Emily wasn't the victim. She was the punchline. But things escalated fast, faster than I expected. The night after Christmas, she and her parents showed up at my door. I opened it with the chain still locked. Her dad tried being calm. Son, we just want to discuss this like adults. Not your son, I replied. And there's nothing to discuss. Emily pushed forward. Baby, please, we can fix this, we're done, I said. Her mom snapped. She invested 2 years. You owe her something. I owe her nothing, I said. She issued an ultimatum. I met it. End of story. Emily's mom pointed at me dramatically. We'll tell everyone what kind of man you are. Do it, I said. Tell them I wouldn't buy your daughter a house she didn't pay for. They left with threats, tears, and melodrama. But the real chaos came the following week. Emily showed up drunk. With her sister. And 2 friends I'd never met. They shoved past me, barged into my living room, screaming about stolen dreams and manipulation, waving their phones in my face like amateur paparazzi. My friend filmed everything. When one girl yelled, "This is going on TikTok," I calmly responded, "Great. Record this too, you're all trespassing." Emily stumbled toward my stairs, shouting, "Where's our room? I want to see what loser life you're living without me." I called 911. The cops arrived fast. My ex cried on the couch, ruining the fabric with streaks of mascara. Her sister lectured the officers about emotional injustice. One of the friends kept filming, narrating like she was live on a reality show. Then the cop asked one simple question. "Ma'am, is your name on the property deed?" Emily whimpered. "No." "Then you don't belong here." They escorted them out while Emily screamed, "I loved you!" like some dramatic movie villain being dragged away. The next morning I filed for a restraining order. She responded by, no joke, suing me for $15,000 for emotional damages and invested time. I hired a lawyer who basically cackled reading the lawsuit. The restraining order hearing came first. She showed up with an overpriced lawyer and her entire family in tow, looking like a pity parade. The judge barely needed 5 minutes to grant the order. 1 year, no contact, 500 feet minimum distance. Her mom wailed like someone had shot her. And then the civil lawsuit was scheduled. But the best part. Her own father pulled me aside afterward and whispered, "You did the right thing. We didn't raise her to be this entitled." That was the first honest moment I'd ever seen from him. But the storm was far from over. Because Emily wasn't finished. Not even close. After the restraining order, I thought things would settle down, maybe even fade out the way messy breakups usually do. But Emily wasn't built for quiet endings. She was built for chaos. Built for theatrics. Built for a version of reality where she was always the victim and the rest of us were just props in her personal tragedy. The week after the restraining order was issued, I tried getting back to my routine. Work during the day, fixing up the house in the evenings, hanging out with friends on weekends. For a moment, life felt normal again. Peaceful. But peaceful never lasts long when someone like Emily feels wronged. One morning at the gym, the same gym I had been going to for years, I spotted her sitting on a leg press machine. Not exercising. Not stretching. Just staring at me. Like some horror movie character. I turned and walked toward the free weights, pretending I didn't see her. But every time I moved, she shifted machines so she could keep me in her line of sight. It was eerie. And pathetic. And more than anything, it made me angry, not because she showed up, but because she thought this counted as coincidence. I logged it for the restraining order. Then it happened at the grocery store. I walked in to buy cereal and dog food. She walked in 2 minutes later, pushing an empty cart, pretending to browse but actually trailing me like a malfunctioning Roomba. I ignored her. She followed anyway. The coffee shop? Same thing. The hardware store? Same. She was showing up everywhere, inserting herself into my daily life, insisting it was all accidental, like the universe kept shoving us together in a cosmic rom-com, except this wasn't romance. This was stalking. And the only cosmic force at play was her delusion that I'd eventually come to my senses, and let her move into a house she contributed absolutely nothing toward. When she got served with the official restraining order documents, her mother called me from a blocked number. "She's devastated," her mom barked. "She had to move back home. She's depressed. She's not eating." "Not my problem," I replied. "You ruined her life." "She ruined her own life," I said. "All I did was set boundaries." She hung up after muttering something about karma. The next escalation happened online. I woke up to 10 different screenshots from friends. Emily's sister had posted a scam alert in multiple neighborhood groups accusing my mom, my 60-year-old mother who bakes cookies for the neighbors, of being a predatory landlord. The post claimed she was charging illegal rent rates and threatening vulnerable tenants. The comments were a dumpster fire. Half the people believed it. The other half demanded proof. I sent the group admins the legal documents showing the property, the lease, the $1 a month rent. The posts were deleted, and her sister was banned for defamation. Emily's college roommate, who always treated Emily like the sun and herself like a devoted planet, posted a long Instagram essay about financial abuse and the emotional burden women carry. Someone commented, "Didn't she demand he buy her a house by Christmas?" The roommate replied, "Women deserve security. If a man loves you, he invests." Another person wrote, "Did she offer to invest anything?" The roommate responded, "That's not the point." Oh, but it was exactly the point. Still, I stayed quiet. I'd learned by then that engaging with delusional people only feeds them. But Emily wasn't done feeding the drama. The biggest escalation came a week later. I was at home on a Sunday afternoon with a couple friends, eating pizza, watching the Broncos game, just relaxing. Then came the pounding. Not knocking. Pounding. My buddy paused the TV. "Dude, expecting someone?" "Nope," I said, already knowing who it was. I walked to the door, looked through the peephole, and there she was. Emily. Her hair wild. Eyes puffy. Mascara smeared. Her sister right behind her. And 2 other girls I didn't recognize, phones out, ready to record. I opened the door just enough to speak. "Leave." Emily shoved the door open with the full weight of her shoulder, stumbling into my house like she owned the place. "This is my home," she screamed. "You stole it from me." Her sister stormed in next, yelling at me like I'd robbed a bank. One of the strangers started filming, shouting, "Tell your side, Queen! We got you!" My living room erupted into chaos, shouting, crying, accusations, shaky camera footage. One of my friends started recording too. I calmly told them, "You need to leave. You're trespassing. You can't kick me out of my own house." Emily screamed, grabbing onto the staircase railing like it was a lifeline. "It was never your house," I said. "Get out." She pointed at my chest, screaming, "You manipulated me. You tricked me. You owe me this." It was like watching entitlement come to life. Finally, I called 911. The police arrived in minutes. Emily tried turning on the waterworks, collapsing dramatically on the couch, sobbing into her hands. Her sister accused me of financial manipulation to the officers. One of the filming girls claimed she had proof that I emotionally abused Emily. The older cop sighed like he'd seen this situation 100 times. "Whose name is on the deed?" he asked. "My mother's," I said. "I can pull it up." "Did you invite them in?" "No." My buddy held up his phone. "We have video." She forced her way in. The officer turned to Emily. "Ma'am, you all need to leave. Now." She wailed like she'd been shot. "But he stole my future." The cop didn't flinch. "Your future is not his property. Let's go." They escorted them out to the street while Emily screamed, "I loved you, Ethan. I loved you," over and over. The moment the police cars pulled away, my buddy exhaled loudly. "Bro," he said. "What the hell was that?" And the truth was, that was only the beginning. Because the next morning, Emily did something even I didn't think she was delusional enough to do. She filed a lawsuit.